What's going on, y'all? It's state duels time. Super excited tomorrow. Love this time of year. Love Saturday, Wednesday, and next Saturday. Um, so there's some great action tomorrow. I'm just going to hit some highlights in each classification. Pick who I think is going to move out of the East and the West in each classification, and who I think the overall champion will be. So we'll start with 1A. My favorite quad in 1A is Polk versus Rosman, and then Drawn versus host Allegheny. Allegheny, I think, is back on the rise. Maybe they'll get back to where they were in the 90s and early 2000s. And then Polk, I know, had a great offseason, and they've had a good season thus far. So I think if that second round match pairs out where it's Polk versus Allegheny, that's going to be an exciting one to watch and to be at. I think the winner out of the East will be Uwharrie Charter, but I want to see how Thomasville will go up against them. If Thomasville moves out and gets to wrestle Uwharrie Charter on Wednesday, I think that'll be a good match. But I think Uwharrie will move out of the East. They'll be the East champion. And moving out of the West, I think will be Avery. And I think Avery is going to get back and take it all this year. They're going to bounce back from last year, and they'll be the winner this year over Uwharrie Charter in the finals at 1A. In 2A, my favorite quad tomorrow that you should check out if you're close by is Mount Pleasant versus Lincolnton, and then Bandy's at host Moorhead. Moorhead has a couple of good hammers. Bandy's is getting back to where they used to be, contenders. And then I love this Mount Pleasant Lincolnton matchup. I think that's going to be an awesome one to see. I hope we get some video from it and updates from that match. And two of the best teams in 2A meeting in the first round, Mount Pleasant, Lincolnton. That'll be exciting to watch. The winner out of the East, I think, is Seaforth. They've had a great year so far, and I think they keep rolling. I think they win the East bracket, and they will meet up with Trinity out of the West. Trinity's my pick to take the West championship. I think Trinity has that group of seniors that is awesome, and a couple underclassmen that if they step up, they're the best team, 2A team in the state. Trinity is going to have to take the weight classes at 120, 126, 132, 150, and 190 to keep it in their favor. They got to keep bonus points to a minimum or get some wins at those weight classes. If they can do that, then I see Trinity as your 2A champion, winning the 2A dual team title this year. And then moving on to 3A, there's a bunch of good wrestling tomorrow. All over the state. So hopefully you're somewhere near one of these quads and you can get to it. First one is Southern Nash versus First Flight, and then Croatan is hosting, and they're wrestling Swainsboro. At First Flight, great year, great coaches, tough kids, and then Croatan has a great tradition. I want to see that First Flight Croatan match in round 2. That'll be exciting to watch. The next match the next quad you want to get to if you can is Inca versus Central Davidson, and then at host Eastern Guilford versus West Mecklenburg. Eastern Guilford has finished the year undefeated. They're a tough team. They got a great coach. I want to see two great coaches go against each other in the second round. Inca's Mark Harris and Eastern Guilford's Maurice Atwood. They'll both, have their guys ready. They'll adjust their lineups if needed and to give their team the best chance to win. So I think Inca will be an interesting test for Eastern Guilford and to see how that goes. Next up, Piedmont versus Kings Mountain. And they're wrestling at host Pisgah, who's wrestling Montgomery Central. Pisgah is having a great year. They've got a pretty good team from top to bottom. Kings Mountain, I think, is one up and coming team. I want to see that Pisgah Kings Mountain match in round 2 tomorrow and see how those teams play out. Kings Mountain has some really tough kids. And then I think the best one that I like out of the 3A bracket is Ashe County versus Ford and Simcoe Barris versus host West Rowan. Okay, West Rowan had a great year. They're not done yet. And then Ashe County and Ford. Ashe County is consistently good. Ford, we know what they've done in the past. New coach, but hopefully it just it carries on and they can get back to where they were. I'm going to pick Eastern Guilford out of the West to win the bracket. I think they're the best team in the West. Out of the East, I'm going with Union Pines. Amazing team from top to bottom. I think their depth is probably the best depth in the state at any level. They have a great coaching staff, and they have just solid kids from 106 all the way up to heavyweight. There's not really any weak wrestlers on their roster, weak spots. And then I pick Union Pines to win it all. I think it's their year. You know, they've been runner-up 2 or 3 years in a row now. This is their year. Union Pine takes 3A title. We could have 2 undefeated teams going for the championship. Eastern Guilford versus Union Pines. Union Pines wins it all. Moving on to 4A. There's two good quads tomorrow you want to check out. First one is Millbrook versus Hoke, and then Rollsville at host Pinecrest. I think the match you want to see here is Hoke moves on, beats Millbrook, and Pinecrest moves on and beats Rollsville. Pinecrest versus Hoke, I think it's going to give you your money's worth. Super exciting. That match could go either way, Pinecrest or Hoke. So really, you know, Hoke has a pretty solid lineup, so does Pinecrest. So I think that's going to be an exciting match to watch. The match I'm going to be at is Porter Ridge and Northwest Guilford, and then Southeast Guilford versus host Hickory Ridge. I'm going to be at that one tomorrow, grabbing some content for you guys. So in Northwest Guilford, we know about them, you know, defending champs. Southeast Guilford, Hickory Ridge, I think, you know, both those round 1 and round 2 matches are going to be solid to watch and have some great wrestling going on in round 1 and 2 at Hickory Ridge tomorrow. That match starts at 3, so be there if you can. Out of the East, my pick to win the East bracket is Lumberton. Pretty solid team, top to bottom, great coaches. And then out of the West, I'm going to go with Davie County. I think, you know, they've got another solid team from top to bottom. They don't really have any weak spots in their lineup. They got a new coach, lots of energy. He's an alum of Davie County, so he's been there. He's won, you know, with that school. And I think Josh Stanley gets them back to where they were and gets Davie County their first dual team championship in a long time. I think the last time they won was maybe 2006. So it's almost 20 years that they've won a dual team title. Hopefully this will lead to lots of DCAWs. You know, super exciting team, and I think Davie takes it all. The girls are wrestling tomorrow in their regional dual team tournament. If you're at that match, you know, those matches, send me scores, send me updates from the girls dual team tournament. Same thing for the boys. Send me pictures of your scoreboard, you know, what happened. Maybe there was an exciting match you got on video where your team was down by 3 and you needed to pin to win to defeat the team you're wrestling. Send me that match. You know, we want to see that stuff. That's what we love to see, is those exciting moments. And so please send me scoreboard updates, scoreboard picks, DM them here. I'll get them up as soon as they come in. Send me your best video from tomorrow. I know there's going to be lots of exciting video. There's going to be upsets. There's going to be huge matches across the state. So if you're there and you've got a good video, send it to me. We want to see it. I want to share it with the Carolina Mat News Nation. Good luck to everybody tomorrow. Wrestling, all the teams wrestling, boys teams, girls teams. Send in your content. Comment about what you thought about my picks. Am I wrong? Am I right? And do you agree, disagree? Send me DMs. Let me know what you think about the picks I put out today. And we're gonna have some great wrestling Saturday today, next Wednesday, and next Saturday in Greensboro. So good luck to everybody, and this is gonna be a fun week to watch what happens over the next week.